Today we're talking about the top 10 project management responsibilities. Well, you can find lists out there of these responsibilities, but specifically today, I want to focus on daily and weekly tasks. In essence, people want to know, what's the day in the life of a project manager? What do I do, again, daily and weekly? So when we look at daily responsibilities, we're looking at things like email, returning emails or sending emails in a timely manner, making any kind of calls that you need to as follow-up, or if someone calls, just again following up with them, or calling to ask questions to clarify things. Another is meetings. So sometimes you have meetings with, it could be the team members or any kind of third-party vendor partners or even your stakeholders. Also keeping an eye on your dashboard. So a dashboard is a graphical picture of how your project is doing. So you want to look at things like how are we doing on our timeline? How are we doing on our budget? How are we doing on delivering the scope? And those type of things that we want to watch on our dashboard. We also want to track the daily project status, like where are we supposed to be today? So if there are tasks that are supposed to be completed today or even milestones, take a look at where you are. Are you in progress? Are they completing as scheduled? Also, it's great to take a check-in on your team. Check in with your team and make sure they're not stuck. Sometimes team members could be stuck. Maybe they're waiting on information from another group that you may could help resolve or escalate, or they may need some training, or they may just be stumped on how to approach a different task that they're working on. Also ensuring that issues, risk, and any changes are being addressed. You want to make sure they're logged and being addressed by the project team. Also timesheets. We found that if timesheets are done daily, your information or your time is being tracked more reasonable instead of waiting more until an extended period of time. Say if people log their time, at the end of the week or at the end of the month or even longer periods of the project, we find that it gets to be more of a guesstimate. So we also want to keep a daily checklist, things that you want to ensure that by the end of the day that you resolve. And then also keeping an eye on your budget versus your expenditures, because the closer that you can keep those things resolved, the better. So also we want to look at what are some of the weekly things that we do. So there's a daily project status, but also a weekly, like through the week, are we where we're supposed to be? Also the overall project status. So at this point in time, say in this period of time of this week, are we where we're supposed to be in the overall scheme of the project? If not, begin resolving those issues and finding out where the issues or problems may be. Also, again, monitoring a dashboard on a weekly basis to ensure graphically those components of your budget, your scope, the timeline, all of those things are being on track. Also, providing a stakeholder summary. We found by keeping our stakeholders informed, it keeps them at ease that the project is keeping on track and that any issues are being resolved. Because we may need at times their input into things. They may need input on maybe some changes, the change control board, to make sure that changes are addressed and decided. Also, the timesheet approvals. Typically, on most projects, the timesheets are approved at the end of the week so that invoicing can be done. So invoices may be sent to the client, they may be sent to third parties, and so that you want to keep that going on a regular basis. So also a weekly kickoff. I start my Mondays by looking at, for the week, what are the things that week I need to do? And for the wrap up on Friday, I look at all the things I was due to complete that week. Did I complete them? If not, do they need to carry over to the next week? Do I just need to close them out? Are they still important or are they not important anymore? So I clean that list up. So I start the next Monday. So it's kind of rinse and repeat the Monday through Friday. And then also having a weekly checklist. And then also being able to invoke some team appreciation. Keep your team encouraged, keep them inspired, and just acknowledge them for the work that they're doing on the team. And then also tracking lessons learned, because what we found is with lessons learned, you want to incorporate them as soon as possible along the way, instead of waiting to the end of the project and capturing those lessons when it's really too late. So with that, we also know that through, it may not be daily or weekly, but it's really ongoing, is to continue your self-development, any kind of growth opportunities, and coaching or mentoring, not only for yourself, but also for your team. And then also for these, I guess I have some extra tips as well. So remembering that to make meetings productive, start them on time, end them on time, and most of all, have fun. So you can work hard and have fun. And then make calls personable and intentional. If you make calls or set up a call, be sure that you set the intention so that the other person knows, like, why are we having this call? What's the intent? What does everybody want to leave with? Is it just information, or do you need to leave with the decision? Also, leave meetings with closure and action items of knowing who's supposed to do what, when, and where. And then resolve issues. Don't let issues keep building and lingering on, because they typically get worse as they go. Clarify any ambiguity, because if you leave things unclear, then it just, if people are not sure what they're working on, or maybe not clear on expectations, again, it just causes trouble down the line. And then ask questions. Just continue to ask questions of your team, of your vendor partners, of your stakeholders. That provides a lot of information and just keeps people accountable to what they're doing. And also keeping your stakeholders informed always helps. But if you need a tool that can help you with your daily and weekly tasks and responsibilities as a project manager, then sign up for our software now at projectmanager.com.